Pardon me if I don't look energetic or I don't act energetic. I've been up all night for different issues, and I saw Haikyuu was out, so I decided to watch it and do a review before I go to bed. So anyways, continuing on with the review, this episode of Haikyuu was a build-up episode, had some tension. It pretty much introduces the opposing team, Nekoma, and oh my god, they look freaking beast. They look freaking beastly. They have similar personalities to our team on our side, and I like that. So we really have an interesting rival team, and we're probably going to have a really badass match next episode. So, with the ending part of this episode, you see a lineup of both teams staring at each other face to face, the Ravens and the Cats, and it looks freaking badass. It really does, and I like the way the scene, just all the symbolism in that entire scene. Besides that, this episode demonstrates the decision a coach has to make to select the players to play on their team, and who will go in first to fight against the opposing team. And it shows you that a coach is under a lot of pressure, and usually has to decide who can possibly bring the team to a victory, but at the same time, the coach has to deal with, you know, the emotional factor. He could be hurting a key player that's been in this team for a very long time, and he could be shafting that person to the sidelines to make a way for a newer player that may just join the team. And so we get to see the emotional factor that coaches have to go through, and I love how they make that really realistic in this episode. And so I love how Haikyuu is able to add in these realistic elements of how coaches have to deal with these decisions, but at the same time they have to make these tough decisions to make sure that their team will win. And so that's what the main point of this episode was. Pretty much the main point was, no matter how long you've been on a team, if there is someone better than you, you will be replaced if someone can do better than you. And so that was the main, I guess, moral of this entire episode, and I like how it was displayed about that. Getting to see how Kenma and Hinata met each other in this episode, I can really see a rivalry going on later on in the future between these two characters. It kind of reminds me of Yowamushi Pedal at the moment, and so this episode had a lot of enjoyment. It had some great music, great animation. I love the shading as usual in Haikyuu, and what is not to love about this episode? I mean, it really was a freaking good episode. It had a lot of good moments, had some good comedy moments, especially with Asahi, the beginning part of this episode, when you see him freaking just tired, wake up, and you see his hair down. He looked like a completely different freaking person, and it was scary looking. So that has to be one of my favorite moments, comedy-wise, and overall the best moment of this episode, I think, was when you saw both teams stare each other down right at the end before the episode went into the ending credits. So tell me your thoughts about this episode, everybody. What was your favorite moment? What did you feel about this episode of Haikyuu? What do you feel about our opposing team, Nekoma? Do you think they're going to win against our team? Let me know in the comments below. I love you all so much. Please be safe. Chibi out.